Okay, so this is going to be episode 2 of my building with every object level. So if you didn't see the last episode, we actually made about half of the gameplay. The hope for this episode is just to finish off gameplay and then maybe even add some coin routes and get some playtesting during this episode. So initially I put this teleport here in hopes to resync the player with the song. However, I think what I can do that would be even better, as I don't have to have the background teleport and all that, I'm basically just going to move this back so that when the song drops, the dash orb would just be in that place where it would normally teleport anyway. So yeah, we teleport about there. So if I pull all this over that way until that block meets these, which is there. But now if I put a stop and then jump pad, that should hopefully sync a lot better. Yeah, so that syncs for just there. I think instead I'm going to put a robot portal, very quickly getting some new objects off the list. Ooh, but the song appears to be desynced. Wait, it speeds up here. Okay, that seems to sync a lot better now. So now I should be able to just sync things normally in the editor and it will sync when playing. Out what all the gameplay objects I currently need to use are before I carry on, because if I don't use them all in the gameplay, then I kind of have nowhere else to use them. Hey, I'm going to be trying to reach 2,000 subs by the end of the year, so if you enjoyed this video and would like to help out, please leave a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot, thank you. I don't think I'll be needing more than these, which is actually pretty good. I've only got 25 objects here to go. So yeah, I think I was very much right in saying last episode that yeah, there's not going to be that many new objects used this episode, especially since I've already got rid of these two. So this is all we need. The buzziness of the sound in this section makes me kind of want to do like a pad spam, and I haven't used these red pads. So if I do like with a hit head, this is kind of a unique idea. I'm not sure if I like it that much, but it's working. This is like the only section I can imagine a swing copter not feeling out of place on. So I may as well just put it here. My opinion on swing copter has not changed since it came out. I still don't like the game mode. So here's your short little swing copter part for my swing copter lovers out there. It does exist, whether you like it or not, I guess. It's you know, my pride and joy, really. This might be my best swing copter part I've made, you know? Why is the camera moving all the way up there? I don't know. Let's make this work. If I get an event trigger, I guess, and then static camera once the wave portal has been touched, and then static onto having the Y as 50. Y only. Exponential out is really a great movement for like these really dramatic movements, which is why I use that a lot recently. Now this speed portal, I'm gonna do a similar thing as from before as the one before the ship portal. I'm just gonna set that to be like that. Set this on the follow Y, and then this one is going to be this one wants to be hidden. I messed this up. This one wants to not be hidden, but wants to be no-touched, which kind of sucks, actually. I might, yeah, I'm not overly liking this, actually, so I think I'm just gonna get rid of, up here. Well, I like just keeping my gameplay a lot more, simple, I think, nowadays. It's just a lot easier on the eyes, which maybe isn't how I should be thinking about how good my gameplay is, if it looks good, but whatever works, works, I guess. Oh, okay, it's gonna bug like that. I'll just set it as free mode for now. And let's get a mini portal as well. Just because mini is the only time where I find swing copter works in an interesting way. You get a bit more wiggle. I do think I need a more consistent intro to the swing copter, because if you're even slightly like offset here, you get a very different result in like the way it moves. So that's going to be somewhat consistent, I think. Maybe even just put that there and put like sort over it, so you kind of just have to buffer click it. I do wish there was a bit more curvature. I could mess about with the gravity, I guess. Make it like 1.5. That's pretty good. That allows for way nicer sync. I'm gonna guide the player into that, I think, just to be kind. But now this is looking a little ugly. The slow speed makes sense here, though. I don't really want to get rid of any of these objects. They all work for what I'm going for. I think I'm going to get rid of that normal speed just to get rid of any cluster. I think 2 times speed here works a little bit better. No, these jumps don't do the song as much justice. Need something a bit more impactful. Okay, it's a little lame. I can bring in this so that you can't just hit one of these. It serves no purpose different for like a blue portal, but you know what? Why not? I guess I could use that as a gimmick for the coin, because I think what I might do is I might put a portal in front of these. I don't know, my brain is going, it kind of wants to keep this kind of consistent, so having the portals in front of all the orbs just makes more sense to me. This maybe is going to be where the level will start just feeling like a hodgepodge of random things that aren't as interesting as they could be. I mean, I've just made a toothbrush now, like, what was I doing with that, you know? Okay, you know what, actually, I know how I might use this green portal. If I'm just going to put the things on all the things, then why not be a bit interesting? We can have like a fake down this way. How about that, hey? Yeah, that's interesting, I like that. Then we can get the final portal that I'm missing, the ball portal here. Oh, there's still 2 teleport portals left. I've got an idea for what I can do with that. Okay, and then, yeah, portal through here. And that'll be like going through another layer in the ship. We can use like one of those pixel doors here. That could be cool. I forgot that would be the wrong way up. We can just I gotta know why this one activates so soon. So wait, if I move this gravity trigger there, do I lose gravity as well? Yeah. That didn't do the thing on top. So all these triggers seem to be glitched. I might just have to keep using the spawn trigger thing here, because otherwise these just don't seem to work. That's going to be a weird thing, but it's really not too bad. It's kind of just silly. If anyone else can figure out a better solution to this, I would love to hear that. That's broke. Everything is broken. Why did I think that this was a good idea? What? Oh no. Yeah, it's 25 that's spawning it. So it's got to be to do with... Oh! Oh! It's this! This does need to change channel. Okay, I see now. Right. Okay, that makes perfect sense, to be fair. You won't even believe it. I've completely finished the gameplay and I completely forgot to hit record. And now I am pissed. Well, I guess I'll just go through it real quick. I used the gameplay offset thing here. I don't know what it does still. Did change something that seemed to work in this scenario, but basically the player goes down and then it's off screen, and then there's the red pad here, which I think... No, there's more red pads later. Go off into this wave. It's just a normal wave. Pretty normal stuff. Then you use this, which opens up this corridor, because it's got all these. So that's another gameplay object. I don't know what this is doing here. Spider Orb is here. I mean, yeah, very nice, awesome, epic. This is a cool section. You go through here, the player goes there, and then there's like all this time warp shit, and it goes slow-mo, and then it speeds up again, and then boom, you go and hit this reverse trigger, and wow, you jump up here, bam, 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 reverse trigger again, bam, ba-bam, bam, bam, reverse trigger again, bam, bam, and then you hit this thing and it ends the level, and that's the rest of the gameplay. So basically I've got these objects kind of left what I said I would need for gameplay. However, this one I think I can use for decoration. These lot I can use for coins. These lot I can also probably use for decoration. This one I can use for coins, and this one I will use now. Specifically in this part, I want to stop. I hope it works for the wave. I want to basically just make it so that if the player hits the player control thing a bit earlier, then it just stops them so that people don't just accidentally kill themselves. So that should be fine. It does work. Now I might do the same, but over here. Yeah, so that's that one. So next, I think we're gonna do some coin collectibles. So I just need to find some areas. I wasn't originally looking at this part, wasn't I? But or that bit there. Now I don't want the gameplay here to be easy because otherwise we don't want this to be a free coin. Maybe even just do that. So you jump into this little section, and then maybe the player can do a tiny little jump there. Maybe it will just be a thing of there'll be a certain amount of collectibles scattered around the map. If you collect up to a certain amount, you get a coin. I think that might be the way to go for this. Yeah, that's a good one. I am going to nerf this bit just a tiny little bit. Hopefully that should be a bit better. Obviously we've got this one here, which we can collect a chest. I don't know, there's so many collectibles that I need to use. So this is basically just going to be like find the swag routes. That's what this coin will be. I'm seeing that. Yeah, that's looking good. I don't want this to fuck too much with the main path. Yeah, that changes like nothing. Okay, cool. What do we collect here? How about a gem? Very nice, very nice. Was thinking about, because I know you can do something here. Hang on. If you hold all the way, you can get yourself lodged up here. Something like that. And here, we shall collect a good old key. I'm trying to go for stuff that's like kind of piratey, because that kind of makes sense to go for, right? It's going to be a thing about like boats and shit. Like, okay, I see another potential coin route. What if the player went through that? We also just want to make sure that you are forced to go into this. Don't presume you'll be wanting to do the next thing in a way, that does actually make it easier for the next coin. And maybe I should keep that, because it is a pretty difficult little gap there. We've had our treasure, a necklace. Why not? A wonderful necklace. Okay, yeah, so now, is there any coins I could put here? Not really, right? As for this, we can have one pretty much instantly by making the player have to hold so that they have to go all the way up, and they'll get a lovely, lovely pair of shoes. Wow. New pair of Yeezys right up there. If I could figure out a way to let the player get down there, I figured it out. It was a lot simpler than I thought. And they will get a wonderful shovel. One up here, maybe? And then a spider orb here? I guess? That's pretty good, I think, right? So I think something like this should be fine. And here you will collect a bone. I can use the player stop thing here, actually. If I just make it touch triggered and then make it just barely bigger than the portal, then it should guarantee that the player's always going down into it. I think I'm just gonna have to stick with 8. I don't think there's a good 9th spot. So then we can get rid of the coins all the way over here. Pull all of them off. Might as well just use an instant count at my D1. Target count 3, 59. Activate group 6, 59. And then 8 will be 61. Just remember that I have to change these to larger so that if you get like 4 or whatever, then it should work. Oh, I haven't done a sound effects thing. I should do a sound effects thing. Oh, also you totally don't use pickup at all. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure something else out with that. I haven't used edit song. Okay, that's easy. When you hit the end button, the song will fade out. Epic. As well as that, when players collect the user coin, we will play a sound effect. How about that, eh? How am I gonna use edit sound effects? We could do like a gem attack thing of like, well done, whatever, just spawn a bunch of sound effects in order. Okay, there we go. That's what we needed. Well, I don't know how much of it's gonna be final, so I think I'm gonna get a playtester, and we'll see what sticks. Oh yeah, because of the force things in the thing. Okay, it's still very buggy in practice. Okay, this part has a lot less structuring, so.
Oh, it doesn't go. I was like, why isn't it going away? No, I have to buffer.
Yeah, Spore. Oh.
That's a known bug, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like it's timing well to the music.
Right.
That little bit right there feels really bad. I'm gonna keep it real.
Okay. What, so specifically the
whole dash orb thing?
Right, okay.
I know, the music just generally feels like a little delayed. Or forward, or it does not feel on pace with the. Whoa, okay, that's neat.
Troll, you got trolled. Okay, I guess you can. Not really.
Oh,
it's blue, blue, yellow. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. Yeah, this part I need to maybe zoom out the camera, I think. More
deliberate camera would be very much appreciated. There's a lot about it I do like. This is a fun level. I really like it. I have no incentive to do this. It feels worse than just jumping. Either enforce it, but if you do, make it more fun. Because right now it feels inconsistent. Primarily this blue orb. Add a J, just add J blocks.
Does it need? Because it's a robot, right? So I don't
robot
think
can robot jump.
Yeah, but I don't think it did it after an orb. At least I haven't had that.
Okay, no. Maybe I was double clicking and I wasn't paying attention. There's one of these, this one. I managed to hit this yellow orb and still die. I did not appreciate that.
Okay.
I like these force blocks that you're using around, but they're interesting. I think in some places it would be better if it just wasn't one. This game, ignoring the key, this gameplay is really cool. I love this bit.
Yeah.
It's so simple. I love it. This throws my head into like 150,000 loops. What the fuck? It's not that it's not smooth, it's just it throws me off. This is something that can be learned and there's nothing wrong with it. But it's oh, why are you here?
Listen, I had to, alright? It's in the rules.
But you really didn't have to. I'd like if it was just a little more lenient.
Right.
This part's a little bit sketchy, but I think this part's fine. I did not like this swing copter. I also don't enjoy the game mode as a whole, but this in particular felt very weak. Let me clarify, I don't enjoy swing in hard gameplay. In easy gameplay, it actually feels really good. This is just awful. This whole thing here is just terrible. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. Alright.
All of this gotta go.
Yeah, okay, I'll figure something out for that.
It feels like the music kicks up again when I hit this dash orb and not this orb.
Okay, because I realized sometimes when I was playtesting this, it felt like the music sync was off, and then I'd try it again, and it was like, oh wait, no, it was fine. So I was like, I must just be imagining things. So I don't know if maybe the sync went off while you were playing this part, because I didn't have the audio on.
There might be some nefarious speed changing nonsense. Yeah, this kind of gameplay is super overrated and does not feel good. I think it's when you have these back and forth upward sections that it follows the player, it just doesn't work as well. Okay. I think it would have been cool if you used the reverse trigger in a second duel and bounced one of the players back behind the other one.
Okay, so we've got feedback now for this. First thing, you're able to just jump from there to there. Also, there was kind of an issue with this, but I think that was more just spamming. So what I can do to make it so you can't just jump from here to here is actually just use this. And that kind of, even though I don't think the other thing was a problem, it kind of fixes both anyway. Also, I feel like this is annoying. There's also a skip for this one. I think I will just try and avoid that from happening, which I think will simply just be that. Next is this. which was suggested to be made even easier. I'm not gonna nerf it any more than that. I feel like that's good enough. Pretty sure this part was fine, apart from these force objects can be a bit make it a bit difficult in practice mode. What I can do is just to have like slopes to push the player if they're in practice mode. That kind of works, but then we get to this, which, yeah, they said was absolutely terrible. Mind you, I don't think the sync is the issue. I think it's just going to be about making this a more reasonable thing. Also, actually, I know this was probably more, it said it's probably more of a preference thing, but I think I will nerf this just a little bit. That seems fine. I mean, the gameplay plays no differently, but it makes more sense, I feel like. And hopefully that was kind of the feedback that I was getting. The kind of main thing that was said was that this sort of thing is kind of overdone, which is very fair. There was kind of two suggestions made for this. One with the camera just scrolling up as you go through, or it would be to completely redo this, do a duel instead. And part of me wants to take the easy route, but since I didn't even record making this part, it could be a good thing to redo it entirely. So I guess it's just gonna be duel time then. So once I get to the correct part of the song, to use these sporbs, these aren't sporbs, torbs. That's weird. They both reverse. Ah, that gets rid of my entire plan. Turns out I can do what I was originally trying to do with the teleport triggers and then having one of the players go reverse. Just that it doesn't use the reverse trigger object, so I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to do that, but I think I will just keep with the idea that I was going to have. What I'm gonna do after that is a good question. Wait, this one's teleporting too? Oh, because of that? Yeah, I can get rid of that. Or never mind. What does that happen? Oh my god. It's like every time something gets fixed, something else breaks. It's genuinely the worst. Well, I've got to figure something out. I've made my mind up. You'll never guess what happened. I seemingly lost the rest of the footage. Again, twice in this video, and this part is just seemingly cursed. You didn't miss out on much. I was trying my best to sort out something so that I could have one player go in reverse, and it didn't end up being nearly as interesting as I thought, so I just ended up making a basic duel. Let me just do it. Oh, a cube and ball duel. And then it goes to these two ships where you got one that's on the slope, kind of gets pushed up. One of them can go through these, the other one can't. And then it goes into this cube portal, which lets it drop down here. And then do these last few inputs. Okay, well, I've just went and looked at how many objects I've used. And in this episode, we used a massive 38 objects. Wow. Yeah, I did say that this episode would have less objects used than the first, and I was very much correct. That's about all for this episode or something. Whatever YouTube will say for an outro, I don't know. I've been doing this for a year and I don't know. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Hey.